Oh, you can so tell it's Talvin Singh, can't you? That is Tuhi.
He has a signature, doesn't he?
He does, and it's a sound that we very much love. Taken from the film Once Again. Now, if you're just tuning into the show, welcome along. Sunny and Shay, we're here with you till 8 o'clock tonight. Now, in 1999, Talvin Singh's album OK beat off some stiff competition from Blur, Manic Street Preachers, Chemical Brothers. He was crowned winner of the prestigious Mercury Music Prize. And of course, we had the BBC Asian Summer this summer, and it was very much reflected upon in Bobby Friction's documentary.
Well, it's funny enough, I was around in that time.
Yeah, so you remember it, and
I remember
Talvin
Talvin
Singh
Singh going into this club where this guy came out with a tabla, and I was like, oh, interesting. And then it just went into this trance, and he just lost himself, and the music was bounding, and when he won that award, it's like, we've arrived.
Well, since
there's
then,
this movement for new music
very
and
much,
fusion.
Has been seen as the pioneer of Indian fusion music.
Yeah.
He has not looked back. Of course, not only is he collaborated with the likes of Madonna, Bjork, he's also awarded OBE, rightly so, in 2014. And now he's going to be playing on the final day of the EFG London Jazz Festival next Sunday at London Bridge Theatre. It's such a pleasure to have him in the studio. Talvin Singh, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
You are a very busy man, aren't you? Do you ever rest is my first
Yeah.
question to you. You've obviously got a real passion for your music, haven't you?
Yeah, I think there is rest, but for me, I think it's got to the stage where rest is when I'm sitting cross-legged and I have my instrument. in
Wow.
front
Oh,
of me.
wow.
Yes.
You know, that's when I'm resting. Like, we just got back from Spain. We played this wonderful venue, which is designed by the incredible architect Renzo Piano, who did the
Yeah.
Shard.
Yes.
So we played at his music venue in Spain, and
Wow.
it's just a year old. And you know, we got to the hotel, and I was like, no, I want to go straight to the venue.
Wow.
And we sat there, and then my flautist from Bombay, Sriram Sampath, he just flew in, and he said, no, bye, I want to. Talvin Bhai, can I come with you?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to check into the hotel. We'll go straight to the venue.
Brilliant.
And the girl, the ladies, you know, the string players and the rest of our musicians, they went to the hotel, and we sat there for 6 hours. And he said, "Bhai, you've sat on stage doing a sound check and checking your stuff. It's been like 6 hours."
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we had to change and go to the hotel, change and come back for the gig, you know. And so for me, like that, it wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
But it's become like that now because I realize everything other than playing music is it can be quite a chore on you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's
can be
what's
a weight on
important
you.
to you and what you love as an artist.
Yeah, and I think it's that dedication, that sadhana.
Yeah.
And the concert was fantastic, and
Yeah.
and I owe that to my musicians, and I also owe it to that dedication, that kind of that sadhana
Yes.
of just you know, like whatever you do, like what you do.
Yeah, having
You
that
know,
commitment, right?
Having that commitment, and making sure, you know, you take care and it's number one, and you enjoy it.
Very
enjoy
true.
that.
I agree. I think that's why people respect what you do. Absolutely. I couldn't agree.
Can I just take you back to the beginning, I guess? You know, when you went and did your tabla lessons, who was the person that said he's learning tabla? You know, he has to
Yes.
learn this instrument. Was it your mum, your dad, your uncle, your grandfather? Who was the one who put the tabla between your legs?
Yeah,
Or in
and
front
said-
of your
in front
legs,
of you,
should I
yeah.
say.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. That was, well, the first drums were my grandmother's knees. And
That's what you played.
Oh,
yeah,
that's lovely.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I used to sit in the gurdwara and listen to the ragis and I would try to imitate what they're playing, the rhythms on my grandmother's knees.
Right.
And so that was a blessing for me. And then I was always amongst great people which shared their knowledge with me. And then I was kind of blessed with having my guru in my life, who's Ustad Lakshman Singh Ji, and he's I would say the kind of the most important figure in terms of the most senior person in our particular in the Punjab school
Yes.
of tabla playing.
Yes.
And you know, he's I've never asked him out of respect how old he is, but he's definitely over 90.
Wow.
And when you took these traditional lessons, and and if you want to learn tabla, there isn't a book. You have to sit in front of someone and they have to show you, this is what this sound is. There's no book, right?
No.
So if you want to learn the violin, I can get a book. I can see the notes. Yeah. There is no notes. And it's all about the sounds, right? So
it's all about the language.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, it's about the language. Most of my kind of learning with my teacher was always actually going to the market with him, accompanying him, just being with him. Yeah. It was never really in front of the drums so much.
Really? Wow.
No. And he kind of injected so much kind of in me, and I probably only kind of have just started polishing 20% of what he's taught me. Wow. And I'm still polishing it.
Yeah.
You know, and that polish is just going to keep happening, and if it ever shines, it'll be a good day. But right now I'm just still polishing. But I've been lucky enough to have a dual career.
Yeah.
Because by the age of 14, 15, I was making electronic beats.
Yeah.
We were breakdancing on the streets. I was doing the beats for our breakdance crew.
Brilliant.
So the thing is, and through that music, I've always tabla is a big, important part of me, but electronic music and jazz is also a big part.
I was going to come to that because your music is you only get fusion when you're influenced by other things around you, right?
Absolutely.
And because the tabla, everyone knows you as a tabla player because that instrument is so, I guess, it's iconic within Indian culture. Yeah. But the sound when you hear it if someone's using it for a trail or
even an advert on TV.
An advert on TV, when you hear the tabla, your ears perk up, right? Yeah. And straight away, secondary to that, if you're of my era, you think of you, right? Automatically you think Talvin Singh, tabla Talvin Singh, straight away. But when you were doing the fusion and this other influences were coming from around America, from Europe and all of these kind of things, I guess, how did you then realize that I can't be part of the mainstream? I need to do this because I can hear it in my head. How do you get that sound out?
I think it was, I would say in the kind of early 90s. Yeah. There was a big kind of thirst for identity. Yeah. Especially within the arts. And I think, I was just naturally pushing that forward. Yeah. I was one of the early people pushing that forward.
Definitely.
And with a lot of confidence, and there was a lot of people at that time saying, well, this ain't going to work, that ain't going to work.
True.
From even record companies. But we were in a great position too. In terms of the music industry was thriving and it was really open. So in that way, I think I was also quite lucky because I had some great people around me which trusted me. Like when I made the OK album, I was signed to Universal. They said, go and make the album. We don't even want to hear it. Here's the money.
Wow.
And they didn't
Lucky.
They did not hear a single piece of music until it was mastered and finished.
Right.
So I was lucky that way.
Definitely. But there's got to be, there has to be a certain amount of self-belief to be able to do that, I think. And not perhaps many artists have that. And especially in a time when people around you maybe didn't even believe, and I'm talking about, you just said earlier on, carving your own identity. There's a lot more to talk to Talvin about. And the good news is as well, if you're thinking, God, I haven't seen him, I want to see him, on stage, he's actually going to be performing on the final day of EFG London Jazz Festival next Sunday at the London Bridge Theatre. So we're going to speak to Talvin about that as well. But you can go to the website to book tickets, efglondonjazzfestival.org.uk. We'll be back. And a very good evening. It's Sunny and Shay here on BBC Radio London. We've been having genuinely such a great chat, and it's one that Sunny and I have wanted to do for a long time on Radio London. We've been joined by the pioneer of Indian fusion music tonight, Talvin Singh. The good news is he's actually playing next Sunday at EFG London Jazz Festival. So it'll be at London Bridge Theatre. If you would like to go and see him, it's just going to be a fantastic night for sure. Then go to the website, efglondonjazzfestival.org.uk.
Now, Talvin, I want to ask you about your family, right? And I guess there's some expectations of what you should do as a job. Your grandmother, your grandfather, your mum and your dad sent you to school, and then you went into this world of creativity. Was there enough support there, which I think there was because I don't know your personal family life. Yeah. But was there this kind of let him get it out of his system. And then he'll go back and do a sort of like a real job, because we're always asked by our family, so when are you going to start your real job? I mean, we do this as a job. This is our job, sort of thing.
Well, I think my family are kind of, I would say they're about success. Like most Asian families.
Yeah,
you
well,
know?
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, and I think especially when you've had a kind of a journey of migration.
Yeah.
You know, there's a certain expectation of achievement which just develops with a little bit more intensity.
Right. Yes, very true.
And I think so that was definitely there, no doubt. But I think there was the intensity in terms of the passion for music.
Yeah.
You know, it was so intense that I don't think they would even just try to stop me, really.
So they didn't say...
They didn't have a choice, basically.
Yeah.
I love that.
And plus I started very early, and I started as a working musician also very, very early. I've played on so many records, like since the age of like 17, 18, I started doing sessions.
So they knew music is where Talvin's going.
Yeah. I mean, I started playing Courtney's band. And so that's where, again, you know, I mean, if you kind of hear the repertoire of our music and how does it work in a jazz festival, London Jazz Festival, it does, because also my history in terms of British jazz, you know, I joined Courtney Pine's band when I was 18.
Wow.
You know, so it's like I've also had a kind of jazz history in this country.